Kaboom. And we are live, guys, I think. Hello, everybody. 44 people already straight into the chat, which is amazing. Welcome, everybody. So we're live. Hope that you are doing all very, very, very well. And today is the day where I am going to do another live stream. A little bit different than normal because I will be going over some of the altcoins and I'm gonna go through the charts. You might see me being caught a little bit out of breath during the stream. That is because I have caught a flu. I live in a cold country, right? So, I need to give you guys some context. I live in a cold country. It's usually rainy, usually cold, and especially in spring and winter, sun is not really out a lot. Last week, we had beautiful weather, and I got very enthusiastic. So what I did, I kind of spent 2 entire days, about 6, 7 to 10 degrees in my t-shirt. And hence the reason why I now got a cold and I feel like shit. Bad choice. Sometimes you make bad choices in life. However, you only got one to live, so might as well make the best of it. So that's why I'm having a bit of a cold. I need to breathe through my mouth. So I'll try to not be creepy in the microphone during this stream. But that's what's going on. So you might find me, taking a little bit of a break in speaking, so that I can catch my breath. So now that we know that, great to have you guys here. So let's wait just a little bit for more people to roll in, because as I've seen and noticed on different platforms, there's quite some interest for the stream. So I kind of expect people to roll in anywhere between now and the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. So let's just say hello in the chat and talk some fun about. I will start off with Bitcoin anyway, and then I will go over the altcoin charts and everything. So while we do that, we wait for more people to roll in. Say hello to everybody. Say hello to each other, right? Because we now have done a few live streams on this channel, so. I already see some names coming back more often. So, we are in the end, starting to become a little bit of a community, right? So say hello to each other as well. And let me do the same to you guys. So who do we have in the chat? Auta Tracks. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the stream tonight. Welcome, Roy. Welcome, Jaka. Means jacket in street slang in the Netherlands. Very funny. So welcome to the stream. BG, welcome. _Y_, welcome, my friend. Illusion and Bruno so far in the chat. Welcome, guys. Great to have you guys here. I hope that you're doing well. I already see the first question of tonight. What are you drinking? Well, I am drinking a black coffee. No alcohol. Just a little bit of honey in it this time, just to smear and oil the machine a little bit. So there we go. Right. I guess we can start getting into the charts for a little bit. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm interested. Where are you guys actually from? How's the weather in where you live? Are you able to walk 2 days in a row in a t-shirt and not get sick? Let me know in the chat, guys. And also, by the way, before we begin, we need to smash likes and subscribe if you haven't done so. It's free, costs nothing. It's just I would really appreciate that. I'm giving out these videos for free. It's gonna be a good one, I think. We might find some gems together. So there we go. Yeah, I hear that more often. You should drink tea instead of coffee. Well, there are certain principles in life that I can just not cross. So coffee it is for me, sick or not, it's coffee. Um, so I see Slovenia over there, was very sunny. Was Poland, windy, 3 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that sounds about similar at the moment. Um, right now here it's very rainy. All right. So let me actually see what's going. Why is this guy in front of my Twitter? Let's see what we had going on my Twitter feed the last few days. So I haven't really been posting that much. Not only because I'm a little bit ill, but also because something is coming very soon. And I'm working really, really, really hard on that to get that sorted out. It's a little bit too early to make an official thing, but if you've been following me a little bit already, you probably already can kind of guess where this is gonna go. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be something I think that you've not experienced before. And the future is really gonna be very interesting. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm really excited about it, and I really want to tell you guys, but it's just not the right moment yet. So you really have to wait a little bit. Anyway, so I did a poll on Twitter, giving you 3 options. It's simply because Twitter wasn't able to give me more options. I gave 3 options: Link, Algo, and Matic. So I will be looking at Link because that's the clear winner. Probably be taking a look at Matic. I'll probably take a look at all 3, really. I do have a question for you guys. So while I'm going over Bitcoin, sit on this a little bit and let me know in the chat. There's 2 routes I can go in this stream, or I can just cycle through like quite a few charts and give my basic interpretation on it, or we can just pick like maybe 3 charts and dive more in depth into it. Let me know what you guys prefer, and we'll go with that. So you guys decide what we're gonna really what we're really gonna look at in this stream. So yeah, I think Ethereum, Link, Bitcoin, obviously. We need to look at Bitcoin if you want to trade alts, because else it just really doesn't make any sense. Because Bitcoin needs to be in the right environment for alts to be, fruitful to trade or to look for setups. So we need, whether we're looking to trade alts or Bitcoin, doesn't matter. We need to look at Bitcoin first. Kind of easy, to be fair, because literally since the last live stream, which I think now is 2 weeks ago, almost nothing, well, literally nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing. Because all we've done is just range in a really nice and very well-defined range sideways. Bam, 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 bam. And still going. So, in that regard, my analysis remains almost exactly the same, like pretty much exactly the same. Context, simply put, macro structure is now bullish with resistance coming up. Now, there's a few ways you can go about it. My current interpretation is essentially higher prices until proven wrong. Simple as that. So why? Well, macro sideways price action, or actually downwards price action, we have now broken this, including a monthly close out of this range. Now, putting in a new high in terms of if you correspond that to the trend that came before that, this is the first time that something like this happened, literally since 2021. So that's a big deal. So now, not only on the daily time frame we've changed market structure, we've also done so on the weekly and on the monthly now. And with that, we have established effectively an uptrend now and broken out of this range. So that creates a really nice support area. Like, this is a really, really, really important support area. If we break this, if we get back into this region, that's not good for Bitcoin. That would be, in my opinion, very bearish. Until then, I remain my stance remains, which has been so ever since I think I did my very first stream on this channel, since mid-January, that we remain in an uptrend. Now, as far and what we have done since then, as far as that goes, we are now simply going sideways in a more, well, local range, right? So this is more like mid-term to low-term time frame. It's kind of like edging around low to mid, depending on what your own definition is of low-term time frame and mid-term time frame. I would class it on the edge of that. Now, so this is the thing. This is now a new base being built. So regardless of which way we're going to break from here on out, it is going to be either good support or good resistance. Now, at the same time, we also have the last piece of the puzzle, which is this old consolidation area. This block gives us the reason why we're consolidating here, right? This block gives us the reason why we're consolidating here as well. So the context is breaking out of this box, forming now its own base. In other words, this is an important decision-making area, and we're consolidating against that old resistance, which is the reason why we're stalling in the first place. What you also have to keep in mind is that the more times you touch that region, the more out of that resistance is essentially being eaten away. So one time happens, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At some point, this resistance will be eaten away, and that would pave the way for that resistance to be fully removed, after which price can actually advance further up till, I would say the first important region would then be 32,003 to 500, and if that is being breached, which I would not be surprised if we would break out really hard from here and eventually, really would head for that $40,000 region, because then that's when we're getting back into that really old bear flag from last year, which is important to keep in mind. So that is then for the upside. Now at the same time, while we're consolidating here, it's forming a base. So that means that, let's say if we start dropping down, right, then this new region, not this one, but this one, is going to be the new resistance area. And that's then going to be very, very, very significant. And if we do drop down from here, then this is the first checkpoint. But this would then be quite large region that we need to reclaim if we're going to see further advancement in price, right? If we then even come back into this section again, that's when you can say, like, yes, indeed, this was a really big fake out, and you could class this as a bull trap. And, well, there we go. Do I personally think this is the very end of the trend? Well, I'm looking just simply at the data of what the chart gives me, right? It doesn't really matter if I'm bullish or bearish, but the chart at the moment tells me that at the moment there's zero sign of weakness. Absolutely zero. And for that reason, I expect higher prices until proven wrong, right? With the next checkpoint simply being that 30,000, well, I would really say that $33,000 region, although I would not be surprised if we would smash through the level and see higher prices and then see a bigger reaction coming into the market. Alternatively, what could happen as well, yeah, I guess it could happen. Of course, anything can happen. Something like this. We pretend essentially that we're going to get into this region again, and then we actually fill very quickly, fall back into this range again, and going down. For that, I have to see how that happens. So in the end, the longer we're ranging here, there's going to be a point in time where I would say, like, okay, this is taking too long, right? And then I would have to adjust my expectations. But at the moment, right, I think the move is not the move is not necessarily over yet at this point in time. Let's say if we keep on ranging here for the next week or the next 2 weeks again, then I might think like, okay, this is starting to take a little bit too long in relation to the move that happened before. So, then I would have to just change my well, not necessarily bias, but my readings a little bit, right? So until then, for me, it's very simple. Price is exactly where it was 2 weeks ago, so nothing really much happened, at least on the higher time frames. Of course, plenty of day trades to be had. We have had such an amazing amount of beautiful rotations, so I have been trading this range a lot, shorted here, longed here, really nice short again, partial retracement within this range, which I would literally define as follows, like this: horizontal line over here, horizontal line simply over here. And you can see how absolutely amazing we had that, giving us for another really nice long, closing it. And then you have essentially like a sub range within that. This one I've traded a little bit less actively because, it's not necessarily very enjoyable for me to trade over here. I'm still long anyway from, where was that? From all the way from 20,676, which is at over here. So I'm just long and chill, really, and I also have the space to wait for that progression to come into play. So if this happens, if we start losing this, right, my long is not in danger at all. So that's why I'm at the moment pretty relaxed. In the meantime, I can focus on some other things, hoping to cater things to you. The sooner the better, I would say. Some educational things, dealing with some things in life, etc., right? So that is my current stance on Bitcoin. Long story short, not much changed. I expect more upside. If we start losing that $26,500, I would expect that $25,000 level coming back into play, which is really, really big level. Lose the level, then it would be more bearish. Until then, there's absolutely, for me, no reason to be extremely bearish. So those are final words for me on BTC. Right, let me catch my breath. And then we can look at some altcoins, which is going to be very exciting. So while you guys at it, help me out here for a second. Hit the likes, smash the likes, uneven amount of times, because else it will result in an unlike. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let me see. What shall we do? So what did I say again? Yeah, Ethereum, honestly, the BTC pair, very sideways still. Very, very, very little changes. What we've done, very technical though. I'll show you. This is the Bitcoin pair, which is the underlying forces that drive Ethereum in the end. I'll take a look at the USD pair as well. Very simple analysis for me, honestly. So as you can see, this really big white box over here with a nice white line in the middle, marking out that exact middle of the range. In terms of volume levels, we simply had a move down to the value area low. Boom, had a really nice reaction. Coming back up now, testing that POC. If we manage to reclaim it, then the probabilities increase for us to get back to the top of the range. And then if we break out of that range, well, honestly, I kind of expect new all-time highs, at least on the BTC pair, and then with that, most likely on the USD pair as well. So, by the way, don't get me wrong. This sounds all super bullish right now, right? In the end, while I am currently bullish on Bitcoin and on Ethereum, although actually I have been bullish on Ethereum literally since 2021 already anyway, and that also never changed. What I'm not saying is just, sell your kits, sell your Wi-Fi, and just go long on everything. That's not what I'm saying. Even if you're bullish on a chart, you still would need to wait for retracements to come into the market in order to actually trade that responsibly, right? So, by all, this is not financial advice by any means whatsoever. But yes, I am currently bullish on a few charts. At least on the mid time frame. On the macro, I'm not so sure yet if we're really in a bull market or whatever. But it is certainly starting to look a little bit more positive. However, if I'm proven wrong, I will not hesitate to short or to close my trade. That's something that you really need to understand. So, it might very well be that today I am looking for upside. But if for some reason, not that I necessarily expect that, but it can happen. Let's say we get such a big reaction over here, loads and loads and loads of volume, and we're just starting to really advance really quickly downwards. Yeah, then I'm not going to be married to that bias that I had just a few days ago, right? That is new information that I don't have access to right now, and based off of that information, that's where I'll make new decisions off of. So if I see something like that, same goes for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin suddenly just breaks down heavily for whatever reason, I will not hesitate to just flip my bias and just trade the other way. Not a problem to me. No emotions. But for now, Ethereum very stable, to be honest, really just in the middle of the range. Also no reason on the macro time frame to be bearish. And the reason why I'm mentioning this about Ethereum, and especially on the BTC pair, if Ethereum manages to break out, and you've heard this probably first, you've heard this first, then probably we're going to see really nice altcoin season. So that's why keep Ethereum in mind when you're looking for alts. If we break out and we're starting to advance in a fresh uptrend on Ethereum, it's highly likely we're going to see a really, 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 really nice altcoin season. And that's going to be very nice. So, remember, you heard it first here. So, that was Ethereum. Let me take a really quick look at the chat. Yeah, oh, right. So, yeah, there's something that I do want to address. So, I did see some commotion this week on the internet coming from various higher profile people in the crypto space. Some nonsense about different exchanges, right? What I want to say, I do want to react on that, look, it's your own choice where you decide to trade. Nobody's making you do anything, right? It's absolutely your choice, right, where you trade. However, you should also realize a lot of games are being played. And I do assume this is going to be an unpopular opinion of mine. But I'm just going to say it anyway. There's a lot of people that are essentially, how am I going to put this? That are essentially playing the game of boycotting one party in order to gain something from the other party to promote it, right? It's kind of like in my opinion, a little bit of unethical marketing practices, to be totally honest with you. It's my personal opinion. I don't have to say this for anyone. I know who I trust. I know who I trade on. Personally, I trade mostly on BitGet and Bybit alike. So, I am unbiased on that. I pick the exchanges that I think nurture my needs the best. And that's for me. I don't really care what anybody else thinks about that, right? So if you would ask me, what do you recommend? I would recommend either one of those two exchanges because they're good. They have good liquidity. They're flexible in the way of usage, good tech, and they work well. And that's what I need, I don't really necessarily care about all the noise and all the stuff around it. 9 out of 10 times it's kind of just a commotion or something, some theater going on, you know. I'm not for that. I don't really, I'm not a guy that's really into that kind of stuff, you know. It's not really my fetish. So those are my thoughts on the matter. In the end, it's really up to you. And what I would say, if suddenly people start to um, accuse parties, you know, usually there's some kind of hidden agenda behind it, you know. So always keep that in mind, you know. Don't just trust and rely on the first person who says something. You know, just dig a little bit deeper, I would say. That's what I have to say. In the end, it's your choice. I know who I trust. I know where I like to trade. And because I like to trade there, I also don't have a problem with promoting any of these products, right? You know, I'm not going to promote any product that I don't like, that I don't use, that I don't think they're legit, because that would not be great for, first of all, for myself. But second of all, that would be the opposite of what I'm trying to achieve here, right? I'm trying to be a transparent channel. I'm trying to give honest education. You know, so that goes against my my principles. So that's something I would never do. If you ever see me promoting a product, even if I would get paid for it, it would still only be a product that I personally really enjoy using and that I think is a good product, right? Can I be wrong on those? Yeah, of course. You know, like whoever thought that FTX would just falter like that? You know, in the end, I'm also just one guy. I don't know. I don't hold all truths, right? But I'm doing my best. That's it. So I kind of wanted to get that out of my system. And the reason why I chose to react on that is, in the end, I'm a trader, but I also do believe in the development of the whole industry. So I think instead of everybody trying to beef with each other, I think it's time to stop doing that, you know, and maybe we should just, at least the people that have some influence, maybe they should just collaborate instead of doing things for their own gains or whatever. Maybe just build the space a little bit, you know? Anyway, rant ended. Rant ended. Now I want to go back to the charts, because that's where my true expertise is, you know, where I do hold certain truths. And then I'm going to share with you. Yeah, pick your poison. In a way, yeah, pick your poison. In a way, yeah, correct. I do agree with it, you know. I mean, but it's the same with banks, right? You know, like it's pretty much the same. You know, like at the moment you don't just really know. There's just fear, panic everywhere. Just don't invest everything that you own into one place. You know, be a little bit of thoughtful where you put your stuff. Don't put it all in a sock. Don't put it all in one bank. Yada yada. You know, just be a little bit sensible with the way that you're using your capital, you know, and you should be fine, you know. Bad things come to an end, and then good things also come to an end, you know. It's pretty much a summary of a bull and bear market, you know. Bad things come to an end and good things come to an end. That's just the cycle, how it goes. Anyway, not want to get all philosophical here. Blame my flu. Blame my flu. Anyway, let's go to the USDT pair. Let's take a look at that. Okay. So let me see. What do we got over here? Well, at the moment, looks like sideways price action. I do think it's Ethereum is getting on the USD pair is also getting in a more important key area. So the thing is that obviously if Bitcoin goes up, then most likely the USD pair, the USD version of Ethereum, is also going to go up. Nonetheless, you should never just blindly ape into a position, I would say, because the technicals are respected. Biggest resistance here is 1982, really. would have been better if it's 1984. You know, it would be a cool reference to George Orwell's book. If anyone read that, one of my favorite fiction books of all time, although maybe not so much fiction anyway nowadays. But yeah, so fun facts aside, if we break this level, then there's a lot of room to run. Then there's a lot of room to run with on Ethereum. Then it's pretty likely we're gonna see prices well above $2,000. If the BTC pair also breaks out, well, then Ethereum can actually perform very, very, very well. At the moment, I would not necessarily say like, oh, let's say if we break out. I think this is probably the question that most people have here, right? So if we break out above $2,000, does that mean that I missed the move? I think this is a realistic question that a lot of you guys probably have. Like, oh, am I then too late? If the moment you start thinking like that, that's usually when you start chasing the trades, and that usually doesn't really end very well. So what I would say is, did I miss the move? Well, to be honest, not really, because that is actually a first real sign of strength. That also means that, yeah, maybe this is a big move. Let's say we do something like this. Let's say we go in a straight line from here to here. This is hypothetical, yeah? This is not what I'm saying is going to happen. But let's say this happens, right? That would be a pump of nearly 50%. Big move. Does that mean you missed the entire move? Well, first of all, yes, maybe this, but you've exchanged that. By missing that, you've actually exchanged that for a very important piece of information, and that is what you should realize, and that should keep you calm, because what does that say? That actually says that for the first time since a long time, you have actually seen a really big sign of strength. That also means that it's a lot more, I'm not saying riskless, but I would say a little bit more safer, safer to start looking to buy the dips, for example. When they come and where they come is very difficult to predict, so I'm not going to do that, especially not here on a live stream when I'm sick. But that's the way of reasoning how I would go about it. So if this happens, are you then late? No, I would not necessarily say so. And the same actually, by the way, goes for Bitcoin, right? So let's say if you do this, are you then late? Or here, are you late here? Well, no. I mean, in the end, it's just a matter of waiting for a retracement. See how that goes. Connecting all the contextual things together, make up your mind thinking like, okay, this is a bullish retracement or this is a bearish rejection. So yeah, that is, I think, what I wanted to say about that. There's never a good reason to feel like you've missed the move. Of course, there are going to be situations where you miss the move. I mean, let's be honest, there are thousands of altcoins. Obviously, of course, one, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, one of those is going to do like, I don't know, 20,000%. Is there a chance that you're going to miss out on that one? Yeah, definitely. As a matter of fact, actually, I'll tell you a story of a personal experience. This was on BTC. This was in the time when I did very, very, very well trading altcoins. I kind of also made a little bit of a name for myself when, well, yeah, a lot of altcoins I picked at the time and explained and showed did really, really well. This is one of these examples where you could say like, okay, I definitely missed out on something. And my reasoning here was, so I've taken a long pretty much here at the bottom, right? Pretty much here at the bottom. And I traded it based off of market structure. However, knowing that altcoins tend to really increase a lot and then decrease quite a bit, I chose for taking what was it? I think 90 or 95% out of the trade, and let just a little bit run just in case it would pump any further, right? Keep in mind, this was already, a crazy amount. I can't even remember. This was already like a legit, like crazy amount of, it doesn't even give me the percentages. That's how much it was. Well, this was already like, from top of my head, like 900% or something like that. Crazy. So, great result, right? Absolutely great result, because 9 out of 10 times, that's what altcoins do. They do maybe this, and then they do this, right? And then they stay dead for another year or 2 years. Little did I know that it did this. Did I miss out on this? Oh, sure I did. But did I chase it? Absolutely not. I just accepted the fact, like, you know what? I already made profits on this one. Did I miss out on another? I don't know. I'm not even going to check it out. It's crazy. It was a crazy run. Did I miss that run up? Yeah, I did. I did, Does it happen from time to time? Yeah, of course it does, But you also should realize there's thousands of altcoins out there as well that you can also still trade, So if you just miss out on one move, on one asset, on some random altcoin, who cares? There's so much opportunity. So much opportunity. Okay. Enough talked. Enough said now about different things. Let's take a look at the next altcoin, which is, what was it again? The poll favorite, Link. So if you came here for Link, then it's gonna be good. I really like Link. I have traded Link a lot. I've traded the past bull run very, 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 very well. This was the context. We were in an upward sloping channel at the time, broke out of that. As a matter of fact, it was a Fibonacci channel at the time. I'll show you. And we can see if that comes back into play again. Just want to check that, right? So the way that I traded this bull run, hold on. What did I do again? Yeah, this was the channel. So this was an upward sloping channel. Quite a long time ago. This was in 2020 as well. This was actually in a bear market of Bitcoin. So keep that in mind. This was when Link was totally detached from anything else in crypto. This was a beautiful run when Bitcoin was, and on all the crypto assets were actually in a bear market. That's when Link just did amazingly well. This just had its own run. So I like that, because that is one of the very few assets in crypto that I've ever seen kind of doing its own thing. So that was really beautiful. And that's one of the reasons why I'm really enjoying Link, because it's kind of like its own beast. This is the Bitcoin pair. I will take a look at the USD pair, which I think is a beautiful chart, by the way. So hang on, it's going to be a good one, because I do like Link. As a matter of fact, I have accumulated a little bit of Link again lately, since long time. Long time. But anyway, let's focus on the analysis. So this was an upward sloping channel at the time. We broke out of that. Actually, connecting this back to the whole thing, to the whole did I miss the move kind of thing that I just said. Here, upward sloping channel. You break out, right? You break out. Really big breakout. This was from the point when you're taking out that high. This was 74% breakout. And look at that insane retracement. Boom. And look how technical that was. Bam. Almost to the, well, we cannot say to the dollar here, because these are called Satoshi. So to the Satoshi. Backtest, and boom. Straight up ahead. Amazing. Really, really, really good. And not only that, whilst being in a long trade, actually trading that run up to just all-time highs, really. So no telling really where you might top out, right? Because that's what you've maybe learned somewhere else. Is it? How about we extend some of these channels with some Fibonacci levels? So what about if we need to search where it's a little bit of a mess here, as you can see. Maybe I should just check my templates. Yeah, better. I already made a template. So we have, now we do need to go a little bit on the lower time frames over here, and we can actually see how nicely some of these levels have been respected in the future. So we front run the 1.618 over here, you know, which is an extension. So what I do is I'm recycling this channel and I'm giving it use to come into play again in the future. So that's essentially what I'm doing. And keep in mind, this is not to the, I haven't really lined it up super exactly because I simply can't remember how the channel looked like, but this gives you an impression of how well this has been respected, right? So we kind of like tap this level, go through it, we hover around that 2 extension, then we have that bigger retracement back to the top line of the channel, and as you can see, boom, break, backtest, break, backtest, right? So that's how I knew that this channel worked, and that's when I really started to use it for take profit levels. So that's literally how I've traded it. And you might think like, yeah, but Mike, this is in the past. What the hell are you on about? Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Because we could potentially still use that channel. So 2.618, as you can see, tap nicely, not exactly, but you know, this region very well respected. Keep in mind we're here at all-time highs. There's no other levels any whatsoever. This is kind of the only thing that you got over here. And look at how this is being respected. Boom, really big retracement again. Or actually that's where he topped out, right? Then we have the 2.618, then we have the 3. Actually, let me just put that in. 3 going over here. 3.618. I actually kind of want to show you, so and so on, so right? So you see basically that this is really well respected, and if I remember correctly, we topped out at the 4.618 extension of a channel constructed in 20, well, literally in of the price action from 2019 to 2020, right? Or 5 then. I need to search this. So bear with me for a second. 6, yeah. So 6 dot maybe 382, I think must have been then. Yeah. So that in the end, which is also a Fibonacci level. So that actually gave us the top of link whatsoever. I did take profit at this level. Did I close into my entire trade? No, obviously not, because that's just not realistic to say. You know, it's easy to say, yeah, I closed it here just at the top. No, I did take profits, but I did not close the entire trade that I had at the time, right? Because let's be honest, all-time highs, it could go anywhere really. So, you know, the remainder of the trade, I really closed it much later down when we actually, you know, changed that structure, you know, after taking profits along the way anyway. So that's the realistic version of Link. All right. So why did I told you all of this? Well, you might think like, but this is only to the upside. Well, not exactly, because you can use this to the downside. And I have not done this. So we're going to find out if this actually works, right? So, you know, I low-key actually just literally taught you how to use Fibonacci channels. So there you go. Extension, because you can also use them on the opposite side, which is really amazing. Simply by putting a minus in front of it. So let's see what we got over there. -1, -2. Oh, yeah, of course. So 0.0618 first. There we go. And what do we have here? We break out of the channel. Boom, -618. Coming back into the channel, far away from that top of that bull market, and you can see that amazingly well respected, right? Each level very well respected. So let's see how we can move on from here. Guys, this is really some next level analysis. I highly doubt that you're gonna see this anywhere, by the way. So I hope you enjoy this. 3.618. Let me make that yellow or orange, whatever. A bright color at least. Aha, there we got something, right? There we got something. So the negative 3.618 is something. So now I also want to check out the negative 4. Doing some live charting here for you guys. Actually, I'm just going to go with the 618s. Take just a few bigger steps. Okay, 5. Oops. How funny would it be if we would have the negative 6.382? Okay, that's pretty far away. Okay, too bad. That would have been epic. You know, would have been a completely symmetrical. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. All right, so I think the 5 is okay to have in. I think that should that's pretty close, right? So we got ourselves some levels, diagonal levels, and we can see that they're extremely well respected, which is great. Now let's do some more local analysis, right? Just marking out the market structure. Boom, there we go. Bottom that line lines up pretty nicely with this one. So I think this section very interesting. So would be nice if we can get that, you know, and then maybe start to change that structure and something along the lines of that. So let me, obviously this is already broken, so not even gonna bother with that. So yeah, I mean, I'm really gonna keep this a little bit more simple because I'm not really looking to day trade these kind of coins right now at the moment. I'm more looking at the macro perspective, right? So these public streams that I'm doing are more focused on the, you know, on the macro outlooks of things, you know, on the global landscape of crypto assets, you know. There's gonna be day trading content, like more specifically, coming out very soon. I really need to be careful not to spoil anything, but I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are curious, actually, what's gonna come. It's kind of interesting because I'm kind of like really improvising what I'm charting right now. So this is legit analysis that I haven't done before. So for me, it's also a little bit of an of a journey. What we're gonna find out of here, but I do know that I do like Link because I've traded it in the past, and I do like the USD chart. So what am I gonna look for on this particular chart? And the reason why I like the BTC pair is if the BTC pair is strong, then automatically the USD pair also is very strong. Just as that, if Bitcoin goes up, then the USD pair of alts tend to go up as well. But the underlying value of the altcoins actually go down if Bitcoin increases or if Bitcoin is volatile, right? So when Bitcoin is volatile, alts usually take a beating. Usually. This is why there's a time and place to trade alts, and there's a time and place when not to trade alts. When Bitcoin is being quiet, ranging, usually, and especially in a bull market, right? Then great time to look for alts. When Bitcoin is quiet. When Bitcoin is extremely volatile, I would say be very cautious with trading altcoins because they move very fast. Just as like an altcoin can just move up 50% in literally 2 hours, it can also dump 50% in 2 hours, right? So always keep that in mind when trading alts. It requires extreme risk management. I would not financial advice again. I would definitely never ever recommend to trade altcoins on leverage. It's just asking for problems. I have no idea why anyone would ever promote that, but hey, it exists. So just my unbiased, unfiltered opinion. Right. So I think we are reaching an area of interest. This chart at the moment, I think Link can have. It would be good for Link to have another drop. I think it would be very technical, to be honest. So I wouldn't be scared of quite a large. I mean, percentage wise, this could be quite a large drop. This is like a 20-25% drop. But I think that would actually give us a really nice window of opportunity, depending on what happens here. Whether we're taking out all these lows, that would be best, and then actually reclaiming something like this, I think that would look really, really healthy. Yeah. So this is what I would prefer to see on the BTC pair. Now I want to translate that idea to the USDT pair, which I need to find. And after this chart, I'm going to take some questions before moving on to the next one. Binance. Let's take that one because that one has quite a bit of data. So that's always good. The more data, the better. Well, as you can see, I already spilled the beans right away. I should have removed this before the stream. Looks amazing. Really, 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 really nice chart. I love it. Absolutely love it. Why do I love it? Okay, pay attention. Yeah, old highs. Right before all-time highs and the entire bull run happened, old highs. So you see that there is a little bit of difference, and this is why I hope you're still watching, because this is where all the puzzle pieces. I'm telling you, this is what I'm sharing here, golden nuggets. I'm not trying to boast about myself or anything. I'm just very keen on sharing this with you guys. So remember that we analyzed the older chart in an upward sloping channel. Now, what do we see at the same period of time? We see a sideways channel on Link, right? So actually when Link is sloping, when the BTC pair is sloping, that can be up or down, the USD pair actually likes to range sideways, which is actually quite good, right? So that is where you can start syncing up with the chart and recognize each characteristics. Now, technically, also very beautiful. These previous highs, where are we starting to find support? Now, how beautiful would it be if we have that drop on the BTC pair, right? Where we tap that -5 Fibonacci whatever level and take out these lows. That could maybe, because as you can see, we have never really tapped these, we have not really tested this support yet. It's a really nice range though. How beautiful would it be if the BTC pair drops, takes out these lows, the USD pair actually takes out these lows as well, backtests this region, comes back into this range, makes a full rotation, and then ultimately, it can go on very long, but then ultimately breaking out and also changes structure. Now that would be a great opportunity. That would be a great opportunity. Even if I say so myself. So at the moment, the trade is not there yet, right? This is going to take some time for it to be there, but can't hurt to already plan in advance because, plan the trade and trade the plan. That's the whole point. So how are you guys holding up? Are you guys enjoying it? Let me take a quick look at the chat. Let me catch a breather here. Take a sip of my drinks. Let's connect a little bit. How are you finding it? Let me cycle through some questions. We have seen some. The Netherlands. Ozaan, Damsko. Nice. We have some Dutchies in here. The exchange. Let me pop it out so you guys can read along. Pop out chat. So I've already done my say on the whole FUD and panic spreading about whatever it is. Yesterday it was the banks, tomorrow or then it was the exchanges, then it's this and then it's that. It's always something. Tomorrow is going to be something else. So just stick to the charts and trade it, you know? Like, no need to be caught up in all that useless noise, really. Um, right. Um, I would prefer multiple charts. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do multiple charts. So far, we've already done 3. So, well, actually double because we're charting and BTC and USDT pair. So that's good. I think I'm gonna do 2 more. 2 more. Why not link? Well, oh yeah, this obviously you put this in the past. You donate. You're also donating. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate it. That's funny. I didn't see that. Thank you, my friend. Do you think alts could set new all-time highs? Well, honestly, yes, I do. In the last bull market, was very different from the one before. I mean, I've been around here for a few cycles now, right? So I can share my experiences also. So obviously, in the 2019 cycle was driven by the whole ICO bubble. This was when Ethereum became a thing, right? Before Ethereum, it was just a means of just transacting from A to B, you know. Not really, the blockchain wasn't really something you could build on. Then in 2017 or 2018 or something like that, Ethereum, I think, released. Could be wrong, but I think so. And that's when this entire bubble completely burst, and crypto for the first time ever really got attention, you know. So with that was a massive, massive, massive altcoin boom, like crazy, like really crazy. Some altcoins did just amazingly well, a lot of them. Then we had a really beautiful alt season afterwards as well, when we went to, I think, $3,000, and then reversed all the way back to $13,000. There was also a period where we had a beautiful altcoin season, and then again, if I'm not mistaken, January, when was COVID? 2021, I think. Well, anyway, in the January of the year of COVID, we also had a pretty nice altcoin season. It lasted short, but it was one, you know. In all cases, except 2019, we didn't reach all-time highs on altcoins, with the exception of Link, you know, and I'm talking about the bigger altcoins here, you know, the altcoins that's been around here for a while that have the data available to them. I'm not talking about new projects that get listed and then just pump like 1,000,000%, and then, yeah, nobody talks about it ever again. But, you know, players that have been there for a while. So then after that, we had obviously the major crypto bull run where Bitcoin went all the way to $69,000. One would have expected, honestly, to see altcoins burst as well. That didn't happen. And in that way, the major bull market of 2021 was very different from the one in 2019. A big difference. So actually, a lot of altcoins have barely moved, have never really ran, you know, since then. So I do think that at some point in the future, there's, as long as Ethereum stays bullish, there is definitely a probability and a good chance that we are gonna see a beautiful spring or summer in altcoins. So yeah, I do think so. Even if my underlying bias says that, I would never just blindly just, you know, throw my money in some coin that I think is gonna do well in the future. The chart gives me the reason to actually invest in something, not even fundamentals. You know, it's the charts. That's where I base 95% of my decisions on. And the rest is gambling for fun. No, that's a joke, obviously. Um, Let me see. Do you trade more ETH BTC or ETH USD? A little bit of both, really. I would say USD more, to be fair, because it's just easier. It's just easier. I don't have to switch my collateral so much. It's just, for me, it's just easier. So I would say I look at them both, but actually pressing the buttons of getting in trades, I would say USD probably a little bit as well. Can you speak about Tezos? Yeah, I will, but maybe not in this stream. Maybe not. Traded Tezos quite a bit as well in the past. Then we did Link. Totally curious what you've planned, mate. You've been through it all in just a few short years. Your head is full of crashed cars and fluffy dice. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna take that as a compliment, actually, because I kind of do agree. I'm very energetic. Especially that's why I like to do these live streams. I like to share. Yeah, because I do have a passion for this. So yeah. Do you stake? Good question. Actually, I do. Yeah, I do. I do stake. Another reason why it can be nice to accumulate, let's say, altcoins, because especially when they're in some sort of a base and you can stake them. So this is the thing. When something is in a long macro accumulation phase, if you're too early, your money's kind of stuck, right? Your money's kind of stuck in that accumulation phase, and you cannot really do anything with it. However, if you can stake it or if you can earn some kind of interest over it, it's really nice, because you're parking your money into something that has potential in the future, which is more something from an investment mindset. This is not necessarily about trading. And you can earn interest with that over time. Why not? That's great, So yeah, I do prefer altcoins that do give that kind of stuff. So DOT, for example, I like DOT quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I'm actually also staking BGB, which is how do you say that? Which is this exchange coin of BitGet. It's similar to BNB. You can use it on the platform and everything, and you can also stake it. So that's what I also do, for fun, really, because why not? Thank you for the there you go. Oh, congratulations to those people then. Nice. Do you like DOT? Yeah, I do. I do like DOT quite a bit. I have been in DOT for a long time, so I am holding DOT. I am holding DOT for quite a long time. Yeah, I think so. DOT is one of the few altcoins that I think fundamentally are very interesting, because or actually one of the few coins that I've actually did research on, right? So yeah, I do think I think DOT is a great project. This is one of the very few exceptions where I would say, like, okay, maybe the chart doesn't necessarily look the greatest of all time. I think the project is great, and what they're trying to do with the project is amazing. So I do. I am a believer in that particular project, absolutely. And also, since we talked about staking already anyway, it gives great rewards. It's maybe a little bit difficult for beginners to stake it and stuff like that. But yeah, it just works. It just works. Solana, yes. So I will say something about Solana. So obviously Solana took a really. Let's actually take a quick look at Solana. Why not? I do think this is important to actually talk maybe a little bit about it, because it involves the FTX crash. So I think this is important for everybody, regardless if you're interested to trade it or not. Now I'm thinking, what kind of chart should I pick? Probably Binance, because they just simply have the most data. Um, Oh, one thing that I also want to say. I think in the last stream, somebody asked me about Arbitum. This is funny because I said like I at that point in time I had no knowledge of the actual coin being released. So now it has been released, obviously. Very little data, so really difficult to actually say something about this. Um, so I was not aware at the time that they were going to airdrop this coin. At the time they had the ARB Inu, and that, in my opinion, is a meme coin that didn't hold actual value. But now that we have ARB USD, I think it's way too early to actually say something about the way that this chart looks like. You know, it's very, very little data. All that I can see now is just going sideways. But this is definitely one of the assets that I will keep an eye on as time progresses. You know, so I'm not talking about tomorrow or next week, but I will. I'm interested how this is gonna evolve. Absolutely, because I do think this is a good project as well. But at the moment, there's not much I can do with this chart. There's just nothing. Well, I guess it's starting to maybe form a little bit, right? It's just simply in a range right now, right? So I could be looking for that one. Well, $1.10 maybe. That would be an area of interest where I would be interested in seeing the reaction. And I'm just not interested in shorting this. So I'm just not interested in that. So that's just off the table. So now Solana, that brings us, I think, up to chart number 6 by now. So getting some work done here. Let me see. Solana. So Solana, I think, is well, not necessarily great project. I use the blockchain quite a bit for transaction because it's just really fast. So that's what I like about it. So Solana, I think, is a coin that has a lot of potential, and it has proven itself already in the past. I have been using it for transactions quite a few times. I like it. It works very well. It has a good team. It has good tech, and I think it will do well in the future. The problem that it had, though, was that it was heavily involved in FTX, or the other way around, I would say. And because of that, maybe it's a little bit unlucky. Again, I don't know the full story, so don't judge me on it if I don't know all the details. But obviously, when FTX crashed, Solana was just dragged down with it, alongside with a bunch of other coins and companies as well. So this was unfortunate, but I do think that Solana remains a powerful chart. Honestly, I do think that. So the way that I see this chart originally was as follows. So we had this really big. This is where it began, and then just embarked on a bull run just pretty much right away. Then we had a first real consolidation area, right? Which I would class, well, I would say somewhere around. It's a little bit. This is always the thing with altcoins. There's always like these wicks and everything. It's a little bit less, well, precise, I would say. Or yeah, you just have more deviations, because they're so much more volatile than Bitcoin. Anyway, this is the first real big high time frame consolidation area on the asset. Then it just like went through the moon, not to the moon, but it went through the moon. Just split it in half basically, and then yeah, and then it literally just came back to Earth. you know, and now it's somewhere like beneath the crust at the moment. But anyway, all jokes aside, you can see that previous consolidation area was about, and I do think that this was a base forming at the time on the asset. Then FTX happened, right? And now we are attempting to get back into it. If that happens, if that happens, then you could potentially look at it as something along the lines of this. It's going to take time, but I do still think that Solana has also tremendous potential. For that to happen, we would have to, we need to actually get back into this range, and well, that would be a first sign of strength. On top of that, it would be extra backed up by the fact that we're actually consolidating over here. So if we break back into this range, then you could simply class this as a big deviation and this as a strong support zone. So that's the way that I would be looking at the chart. I could even go further into that, but that's when it really starts getting close to giving signals, which is something that I do not want to do. Simply because of the fact that I can flip my bias very instantly, and I don't want to be the guy that says like, "Oh, but Mike, you said this, I did it and it didn't work out." You know, I don't want to enter in that region. So find your setup yourself. Use the information that I give you if you want, and then make your own decision. So Solana covered. Now, what else do we want to do? Whew. Intense session for me. I do feel that I want to do something else. Okay, so what did we do? We did Solana. Normally I don't really do requests actually, but today I'm feeling generous. So we did Solana, we did what else? Okay, I already forgot what we do. Oh yeah, Link, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Okay, we can do one more. Well, I want to do one more. What shall we do? What shall we do? Shall we just take a look at Twitter? What did you guys wrote in the comments? And I'll just pick the one that I see coming up the most. So, oh, Solana, done that. This one, let's see if I just see something that comes up multiple times. I think we have ADA and Atom as a contender. Currently, Atom and Cardano. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, I think we have 2 times Cardano and we have 2 times the other one. What did I say? Atom. short-term memory. Yeah, you know what? I'll do Cardano. Let's do Cardano. So let's find the chart. I'll go BTC. I probably have it somewhere in here. Can't be bothered to find it. Oh, I see it already. Boom, there we go. Okay, so very, very, very old analysis, as you can see. Very old. So what can we do? We can check this out. Stuff do I have on this one? Yeah, it's all pretty much invalidated, really. It's all pretty much invalidated. All right, so what is our starting point over here? Again, BTC pair. We will take a look at USD as well. What was I on about here, really? Right. Okay. So I'm thinking like, how did I construct this channel? It doesn't make sense on first sight, but actually now that I look at it, it does, because support, bounce, resistance, breakthrough, backtest, boom. So right. So this to this, to this, to the high over here, made me construct a channel. And from that moment on, the channel is valid, right? So from this moment on, I have been looking at the channel. And it has been quite well respected. Midline as well, boom, boom, boom. But not gonna lie, it just pretty much has been on a brutal, brutal downtrend since then. And still is. So to be honest, on the BTC pair, it doesn't really look so great at the moment. Honestly, it doesn't look great. The downtrend is still strong on this one. Yeah, it just really doesn't look that great. Honestly, it doesn't look great. What do we got? Where do we actually have support coming in here? Let me just do some fresh analysis. There's also not that much analysis to be done, because I already know that we already have dropped far below the 786. So we have the 886 left still, but yeah, what's that word? There's not real. So there's not really a lot of confluence, honestly. So let me just quickly check out if we have anything whatsoever there. Well, I'm not so sure. It just really doesn't look great. So for me to be interested in a fresh position on this asset, I would really like to see either one of two things. Either I would really see a retracement all the way down to here, really, honestly. Let me put that mic a bit closer. And yeah, really, I would like that retracement, really, where we having some confluence over here. That's what I would like to see. That would actually really be a big drop from here on out. You know, that's really another 50% drop from here. Alternatively, we would really need to reclaim, firstly, this level, and then secondly, we really need to reclaim that level. So long way to go, really, for at the moment. Not interested. For me, a drop to this level would spark my interest. Alternatively, something like this would class an early sign of strength, really an early sign of strength. And then reclaiming this level, that would actually spark real strength in the chart. Right? I would be interested if we start to reclaim this level, which is can't even read it. Lots of zeros, and then we have 1800, more or less, you know. Yeah, so these are my thoughts on the BTC pair. So I think it's not in a good place to really look for new opportunities right here, right now. I would need to wait a bit longer. Right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm back. ADA USDT. Let me see, what does that look like? So I mean, so the thing is that of course the USD pair can go up, right? But I would say at the moment, if the USD pair would now go up in price, I would say it lacks real underlying strength. So then it would simply just be carried by Bitcoin. That, so that is doesn't mean that you can trade it long, but I think well, actually, let's just let's just back this up with like facts. Why just talk about it when we can just do it? All right, so yeah, okay, so actually at resistance over here. I'm looking at the weekly chart now. So this is big time frame, right? Big time frame. And okay, interesting. So I would really say it's looking slightly different from this one. Is looking slightly different from this one. So if the BTC pair would drop significantly, that 50% drop, I'm gonna have to see how much the USD pair accelerates with that. And that is then again dependent on Bitcoin. So it's a bit difficult to actually say that. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't traded ADA for ages, so I am out of sync with this chart. So I need to see how fast, how the correlations work again. It's been a while, but I can imagine that, let's say, if you do have the 50% drop in price on the BTC pair, and Bitcoin, let's say remains fairly stable or even goes up, then I could foresee a muffled retracement on the USD pair, hitting this level, maybe taking out the lows, maybe spending a little bit of time here, but ultimately coming back. That would be a great opportunity in my opinion. I mean, if yeah, that would be a great opportunity. Otherwise, yeah, lower prices really. Then you would really have to be starting to look at this region. But I think that's just way too far away, and for now, just simply not relevant to look at. I mean, we're talking about it's too big of a time frame. On the other hand, for upside, that resistance is a little bit closer. So I would really say, like, if we start getting really back above this level, right, and spend some significant time here, let's say we start having some weekly closes over here or a weekly close, I guess that would actually establish, a bullish local, well, not local, but bullish market structure, right? So that again is then an early sign of strength again on this asset, right? And then again, that real strength in the chart would come in at 65 cents, 64 cents. Because if we do that, then we actually have potential. And you can see, like, this is really funny. I hope I illustrate this well. I did this on purpose. We're really zoomed in now. This looks massive move, which it is. I mean, we are talking about what? Probably, yeah. Oh my God, we're literally looking at like 100% move. But if you zoom out, again, to answer the question, am I late? Then did I miss the move? No, you didn't, right? Because that's actually just the first sign of strength, really. Really the first sign of strength. Like real underlying strength. So, that is for the future. At the moment, I think ADA is in a tough spot. Not very interested in trading that currently or in some kind of an investment. Whew. Yeah. Wow. What a stream. This was nice. Took some deep dives in quite a bit of charts. So you got yourself some technical analysis violence. In the last hour or so, 1.5 hour. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it. I'll take some more questions and then I think it's time to wrap it up for today. Only to have more videos coming out very soon, obviously. So let me take a look at the chat. Let me take a look. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, nice to see you too. Welcome. Happy you like the stream. What alts are you trading at the moment? Yeah, so at the moment I'm not really trading much alts. I remain invested in altcoins. I already mentioned that I like DOT quite a bit. And you know, like which ones I'm actually invested in. I'm actually planning to do a dedicated video on that. So I will be making that. I always loved your altcoin setups. Well, you're very much welcome. Happy you like them. Link. People seem to like Link here. People seem to like it. I'm really that does me good that you guys like it. Mm, Yeah, so obviously because I wanted to do more charts, right? I cannot go too much in depth because then we would still sit here tomorrow. If I'm gonna do more charts, I'm gonna have to keep it more simple, you know. Nonetheless, I think it's you know, it's still good stuff. Personally, you know. Um, but yeah, if I would like keep the focus on one chart, for example, like Bitcoin, that's when we can really dive into the nitty gritty details of things. But if I'm doing so much more charts, then it's just it's just too it's just too much to put it all into one stream. So that's why when I do these kind of charts, I like to keep it to the higher time frames, keep it simple, and just give like more of a macro uh, high time frame overview. Um, yeah, so I see more requests coming in. Yeah, so thank you for the request though, but I'm not gonna take any more requests from now. So I will just take like a few more minutes answering some questions and have a bit of a chat with you guys, and then I'm gonna just wrap it up. And actually, it's Easter this weekend. Totally forgot. So probably I'll just eat some eggs and enjoy some Easter things. Let me see in the chat again. Thank you, Roy. Appreciate that. Um, like, yeah, so this is the thing, obviously I'm a trader and a technical analyst. But I do think that obviously a lot of stuff has happened lately in the markets, right? So I will never ever make any kind of investment or trading decisions based off of like news or FUD or mania ever, But one thing that I think is important to understand, ultimately, we are not yet in a full-on bull market. It's still the macroeconomic conditions are still debatable whether it's positive or negative. There's a lot of doubt in the markets, and with that doubt, also a bunch of like negative news comes out. People like just people and not only people, but people and entities just basically throwing around random things to create a lot of dust and noise and fear and FUD. That's something you really need to be aware of. This has an effect on the psychology of the market. People remain depressed and everything. Not necessarily personally when I'm talking about the way that they think about their investments, right? And the opposite happens in a bull market, right? It's also what you have to realize. Then there's only good news coming out, right? Only good news. Like, doesn't matter if, let's say if FTX, can you imagine? Do you think, let me ask you two questions. Do you think that FTX could have faltered in a bull market? I know it was about some liquidity crap and everything, but let's just hypothetically. Would it have been possible? Of course, it would have been possible. It could have been hacked. It could have been a scam. Well, we all know now it was. and they could have pulled the rug at the all-time high. Who knows? Could have been. How do you think that news would have been picked up? This would have been an issue maybe for an afternoon. And after that, the next good news and everything would come out. This is just how it works. So therefore, it's not surprising that in a market where overall there's still a lot of doubt and uncertainty, people get bored, because there's relatively low volatility, prices ranging often. People just get bored and they cannot find things to do, and then the every bearish type of news kind of confirms their bias anyway, and it gets blown out of proportions really quick. This is one of the reasons why I decided to react on the whole exchange situation, because in my eyes it's just the same thing as some other thing that blew up like 5 weeks ago on the internet about crypto or whatever. It just shows the sentiment of the market to me. And therefore, I always think these kind of things are always exaggerated by times 100 on 100x leverage, essentially. So that's why I think it's important at some point in time to also just address these kind of things, because even though it's not only actualities and relevant and everything like that. So as a trader, it's kind of important that you understand where we are at the cycle and what the mindset behind it is and how people tend to behave in these cycles, right? So that's the lesson that I guess I have regarding to those kind of things. In the end, it's all about like just don't do stupid things. It goes for a bear market, goes for a bull market. Don't do stupid things. Use your head, make your own decisions, and just don't blindly follow somebody that you don't really know. Always do extra research. So yeah, that's what I want to say. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah, would be. Yeah, actually, I want to react to this one. Actually, let me pull up the thing. Would be great if you could do a poll in the YouTube chat which altcoins to cover. Yeah, I was actually thinking of that, but I couldn't find how to do it. So next time, I owe you. I owe you the poll for next time. Do you have any thoughts on the BRICS currency situation and what it means for Bitcoin USD? No, at the moment, no opinion. So can't comment on it at the moment. Well, I guess that is then all the questions covered. I don't really see much questions coming in anymore, so I am going to assume that everything was very clear to you guys. And well, most importantly, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please hit the like button. It helps a little bit, get the content out to more people. In the end, it's free, for you to press the like. The content is free. So let's try and spread it as much as we can. Let's do it together as well, and get more people educated, essentially. Also, if you're new here, first of all, welcome. If you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, and with that, I think it's now a good time to say goodbye for now, and keep an eye on my Twitter, where I'll be giving some charting updates every now and then, and some other updates very soon. So yeah, just keep an eye on everything, I would say, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Let's see one last question. Still short from 69K? No, I closed it. So I'm out of my short from. As a matter of fact, I didn't short at 69K. I shorted at 66,900 to be precise. So no, I closed that short. So I'm out of that. So there you go. Full. I'm just transparent. I'm honest about it. Does it make me super bullish? No. I just thought it was a good place to close. Yeah, so now I'm closed. So anyway, have a good evening. Take care, everybody. I'm gonna now lay in bed, get rid of this annoying flu, and next week, hopefully, I will be able to bring you another video with a lot more energy and stuff like that. So I salute. Cheers, guys.